Simurgh. The Simurgh is a massive mythological bird from ancient Persian tradition, predating Islam, and appearing prominently in the Shahnameh, Ferdowsi's epic book of kings written in the 10th century. This benevolent creature possesses peacock-like plumage, with some accounts describing a dog's face or human features, though depictions vary across sources. According to Zoroastrian texts like the Bundahishn, the Simurgh lived through the destruction and renewal of the world 3 times, nesting in the tree of knowledge called Gaokerena on Mount Alborz in northern Iran. Its wingspan was so vast it could darken the sun when flying overhead. The creature possessed remarkable healing powers through its radiant feathers, which could purify land and water when touched to wounds. In the Shahnameh, the Simurgh discovers the abandoned infant hero Zal and raises him as her own, later aiding him throughout his life. The bird served as a messenger between earthly and divine realms, representing wisdom, divine knowledge, and benevolence in Persian culture. Its influence extended into Islamic mysticism, particularly Attar's 12th century work Conference of the Birds, where the Simurgh becomes a metaphor for the divine. For over 2 millennia, this magnificent creature has remained central to Persian identity, symbolizing the connection between mortal and immortal worlds, with its brilliant gold, green, and blue plumage shimmering like precious gems. Roc. The roc is a colossal bird of prey from Arabian and Islamic mythology, achieving legendary status through its appearances in 1001 Nights, particularly within Sinbad, the sailor's adventures compiled between the 8th and 14th centuries. This massive white-plumed creature possessed the strength to carry full-grown elephants in its talons, with eggs described in some tales as measuring 50 paces in circumference. According to the stories, rocs nested on remote islands or mountaintops, fiercely protecting their young from any threats. During Sinbad's second voyage, he escapes the Valley of Diamonds by tying himself to a roc's leg as merchants throw meat down to collect gems stuck to it. The 13th century explorer Marco Polo claimed to have seen a roc feather, though scholars believe he likely encountered a palm frond, presented to Kublai Khan as an exotic curiosity. Modern researchers suggest the legend may have originated from accounts of Madagascar's extinct elephant bird, Epaornis, which stood 10 feet tall and laid eggs holding 2 gallons. The roc's shadow could eclipse entire ships, according to sailors' tales, and its wings generated winds powerful enough to capsize vessels on the open sea. This creature became a symbol of the mysterious dangers lurking in unexplored territories, influencing European medieval bestiaries and cementing itself in Western imagination as the embodiment of the exotic, perilous East. Buraq. Buraq is the heavenly steed from Islamic tradition that carried the Prophet Muhammad during the Isra and Mi'raj, the night journey and ascension that occurred around 621 CE, according to Hadith literature, particularly Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. The creature is described as larger than a donkey but smaller than a mule, with a horse-like body, wings on its sides, and a human face, specifically that of a beautiful woman with long flowing hair in most traditional accounts. The name derives from the Arabic word bark, meaning lightning, reflecting the creature's supernatural speed, with each stride reaching as far as the eye could see. According to Islamic tradition, Buraq transported Muhammad from Mecca to Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque in a single night, establishing Jerusalem's profound significance in Islam. The creature then ascended with the Prophet through the 7 heavens, where he encountered previous prophets and received divine revelations. Buraq's body radiates brilliant white or luminous light, moving with the swiftness of lightning across impossible distances. Later folk traditions added details like a peacock's tail, though these embellishments don't appear in the earliest Hadith collections. The creature possesses intelligence and can understand human speech, demonstrating submission only to righteous riders. Artistic depictions throughout Islamic history often show the Prophet's face obscured or veiled out of respect, while Buraq remains a powerful symbol of spiritual transcendence, divine favor, and the miraculous connection between earthly and celestial realms in Muslim belief. Garuda. Garuda is the divine eagle from Hindu and Buddhist mythology, serving as the mount of the god Vishnu, and appearing in sacred texts dating to the 1st millennium BCE, including the Mahabharata and Ramayana epics. This immortal being rules as king of all birds, possessing a human body with an eagle's head, wings, and talons in most depictions, though some texts describe a fully avian form with golden or sun-colored plumage. According to Hindu tradition, Garuda hatched from an egg so luminously bright that the gods mistook him for Agni, the fire deity, and he emerged fully grown with wings so massive they could stop the rotation of worlds when flapping. His eternal enmity with Nagas, serpent deities, symbolizes the cosmic struggle between good and evil, sky and underworld. In the most famous tale, Garuda stole Amrita, the nectar of immortality, from the gods themselves to free his mother Vinata from slavery to the Naga queen, demonstrating both his immense power and filial devotion. He possesses the ability to change size at will, from tiny to mountain-filling, and can travel between earthly and divine realms instantaneously. Garuda serves as the national symbol of both Indonesia and Thailand, reflecting his cultural importance across South and Southeast Asia for over 2 millennia. In Buddhist tradition, he appears as one of the 8 protectors of the Dharma, maintaining his role as a powerful guardian despite the different religious context. Naga. Nagas are serpent deities appearing throughout Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain traditions across the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia, with references in sacred texts dating to the 1st millennium BCE. These cobra-like beings possess multiple heads, typically 5, 7, or 9, with expanded hoods, and can assume human or semi-human forms, usually depicted with human upper bodies and serpentine lower halves. According to tradition, Nagas dwell in elaborate underwater palaces in Patala, the netherworld, where they guard immense treasures and control water sources, rain, and agricultural fertility. The Buddha himself received protection from the Naga king Mukalinda, who coiled around him and spread his hood to shelter the meditating sage from a terrible storm, illustrating the benevolent aspect of these powerful beings. However, Nagas can also be dangerous when angered or disrespected, bringing drought, floods, or disease. Many legends describe Naga princesses marrying human princes, establishing royal lineages that claimed divine serpent ancestry to legitimize their rule, particularly in Cambodian and Laotian kingdoms. The magnificent causeways of Angkor Wat feature balustrades lined with 7-headed Naga sculptures, demonstrating their architectural and religious significance. Nagas are often depicted with a wish-granting jewel called a mani embedded in their foreheads, radiating supernatural power. Their scaled bodies appear iridescent in artistic depictions, associated with precious gems and the crystalline beauty of their underwater realms, representing the essential connection between earthly prosperity and divine forces governing water and fertility. Makara. Makara is a composite sea creature from Hindu and Buddhist mythology, serving as the Mount of Varuna, the ocean deity, and Ganga, the river goddess, with representations in temple art dating from the 1st century CE onward. This aquatic guardian possesses a crocodile's powerful body, an elephant's trunk, a fish's tail, and sometimes incorporates features of lions, boars, deer, or antelope depending on regional artistic traditions. The creature's name derives from Sanskrit meaning sea monster or sea dragon, and it appears most commonly as an ornamental motif on Temple Tirana, the elaborate archways marking sacred entrances throughout South and Southeast Asia. Makaras are typically depicted with mouths agape, spewing forth vegetation, water, or other figures in a symbol of abundance and the life-giving power of rivers and oceans. As a threshold guardian, the Makara protects sacred spaces and represents the dangerous yet fertile waters essential for agriculture and life. In Hindu astrology, the Makara corresponds to Capricorn, maintaining its connection to both earthly and cosmic waters. The creature's ability to swallow anything in its path emphasizes both the destructive and creative aspects of water. Buddhist temples across Indonesia, Thailand, and Cambodia feature Makara extensively in architectural decoration, demonstrating how this Hindu symbol spread with religious and cultural exchange. Artists rendered Makaras in emerald green and blue-green hues, emphasizing their aquatic nature, often showing them mid-emergence from walls or water sources with their distinctive curved trunks and scaled fish-like bodies, creating one of the most recognizable motifs in Hindu-Buddhist temple architecture. Yeti. The Yeti is an ape-like creature from Himalayan folklore, reported to inhabit the high mountains of Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan, with roots in pre-Buddhist Bon traditions and continuing through Sherpa oral accounts to modern times. The name derives from Tibetan yete, meaning rock bear, or man bear, though it's also called maigoi, meaning wild man in Bhutanese, and metokangmi, which Western explorers translated as abominable snowman. According to various reported sightings, this bipedal creature stands between 6 and 10 feet tall, covered in white, gray, or reddish-brown hair suited for extreme cold, with immense strength and primarily nocturnal habits. In 1951, British mountaineer Eric Shipton photographed mysterious footprints on Menlung Glacier during an Everest reconnaissance expedition, sparking international interest and numerous scientific expeditions throughout the 1950s and 1960s. Sherpa communities have long traditions describing Yeti encounters, and some monasteries claim to possess Yeti scalps, though DNA testing later identified these samples as coming from Himalayan sero, a goat antelope, or Himalayan brown bears. The creature reportedly leaves enormous footprints in snow, sometimes measuring up to 20 inches, and moves swiftly through high-altitude terrain despite the thin air. Scientific consensus suggests reported sightings likely involve Himalayan brown bears or Tibetan blue bears, which can walk upright and leave human-like tracks. Nevertheless, the Yeti remains deeply embedded in local folklore and continues to captivate popular imagination, representing the enduring mystery of Earth's most remote and inhospitable mountain regions. Qilin. The Qilin is a chimeric creature from Chinese mythology, appearing in texts from the 5th century BCE, considered the most auspicious of all mythical beasts and a symbol of serenity, prosperity, and wise governance. This composite being possesses a dragon-like head with deer antlers, a scaled body covered in flames or surrounded by sacred fire, an ox's tail and horse hooves, with either 1 or 2 horns protruding from its forehead. According to tradition, the Qilin appeared at both the birth and death of Confucius, between 551 and 479 BCE, marking these moments of profound historical significance. Despite its fearsome appearance combining elements from multiple powerful animals, the Qilin walks so gently that it doesn't bend grass or harm insects beneath its hooves, and it maintains a strictly vegetarian diet. The creature can walk on water or clouds without creating ripples, demonstrating its supernatural nature and perfect harmony with the natural world. Qilins appear only during the reign of benevolent wise rulers or at the birth of great sages, making their presence a divine endorsement of righteous leadership. Chinese tradition holds that Qilins can live 1,000 years or more, and they serve as symbols of justice and good judgment in imperial iconography, ranked just below the dragon in the celestial hierarchy. The creature's multicolored scales shimmer in green, gold, and red, while its single horn radiates divine light. This magnificent beast influenced Korean and Japanese mythology, appearing as the Girin and Kirin respectively, spreading its symbolism of perfect governance and cosmic harmony throughout East Asia. Chinese dragon. The Chinese dragon, called Long in Mandarin, represents the most important creature in Chinese mythology, appearing in Neolithic artifacts dating to approximately 5000 BCE and remaining central to imperial symbology until the end of dynastic rule in 1912. Unlike Western dragons that represent evil and chaos, Chinese dragons embody benevolence, wisdom, and power, controlling weather, water, rivers, and seas, while associated with yang masculine energy and imperial authority. These serpentine creatures possess 4 legs, with either 3, 4, or 5 claws depending on status, with imperial dragons exclusively displaying 5 claws, a distinction protected by law during the Ming and Qing dynasties. According to traditional descriptions, dragons have composite features including a camel's head, deer horns, rabbit eyes, cow ears, a snake's neck, a frog's belly, carp scales, tiger paws, and eagle claws, combining attributes from multiple auspicious animals. Chinese tradition recognizes 9 types of dragons with different powers, including Tianlong the celestial dragon, Shenlong the rain dragon, and Fukanglong the treasure guardian. Dragons possess 117 scales on their bodies, with 81 representing yang energy and 36 representing yin, according to some traditions, though this varies by source. The pearl beneath a dragon's chin or held in its mouth grants wishes and controls the tides, representing the dragon's power over water and prosperity. These magnificent creatures can change size from tiny as a silkworm to massive enough to fill mountains, undulating through clouds and water with grace. The legendary Yellow Emperor, considered the founder of Chinese civilization, reportedly transformed into a dragon after death, establishing the eternal connection between dragons and Chinese imperial power. Feng Huang. The Feng Huang, often called the Chinese phoenix, is a mythological bird distinct from its Western counterpart, appearing in Chinese texts from the 1st millennium BCE, and serving as the primary symbol of the empress and feminine power in imperial culture. This composite creature combines features from multiple birds, including a rooster's head, swallow's face, snake's neck, goose chest, tortoise back, fish tail, and crane legs, creating a harmonious union of different elements. The name itself merges Feng, representing male, and Huang, representing female, though later traditions viewed the Feng Huang as a single feminine entity paired with the masculine dragon in representing yin and yang energies. According to tradition, the Feng Huang appears only during times of peace and prosperity under virtuous rulers, making its presence a divine endorsement of good governance. The bird's plumage displays 5 colors, each representing a Confucian virtue: red for propriety, green for compassion, yellow for trustworthiness, white for righteousness, and black for wisdom, as documented in Han Dynasty texts. Unlike the Western phoenix that dies in flames and resurrects, the Feng Huang simply appears and disappears based on the moral state of the realm. This magnificent creature nests exclusively in parasol trees called wutong and consumes only bamboo seeds, refusing to eat or harm any living creatures. Its song incorporates all 5 notes of the traditional Chinese musical scale, creating melodies of perfect harmony. The Feng Huang featured prominently on empresses' thrones and robes, used extensively in wedding symbolism to represent the balance of masculine and feminine forces, and influenced the development of similar phoenix figures in Japanese and Korean mythology. Kitsune. Kitsune are intelligent fox spirits from Japanese folklore dating to the Heian period between 794 and 1185 CE or earlier, influenced by Chinese fox spirit traditions, and becoming one of the most prevalent supernatural creatures in Japanese culture. These magical foxes gain supernatural powers and intelligence with age, developing additional tails up to a maximum of 9, with each tail representing roughly 100 years of life according to tradition. Kitsune possess remarkable shape-shifting abilities, most commonly transforming into beautiful women, and can create illusions, fly, become invisible, or possess humans in a condition called kitsunetsuki. The most powerful kitsune, called Kyubi no kitsune or 9-tailed foxes, often display white or golden fur and possess godlike abilities after accumulating 900 or more years of wisdom and power. These creatures serve as messengers of Inari, the Shinto deity of rice, fertility, and prosperity, with thousands of Inari shrines throughout Japan featuring fox statues as guardians. Kitsune are often depicted carrying or protecting a Hoshi no Tama, a star ball or pearl that contains their power or soul, and losing this object renders them powerless. While in human form, Kitsune may be revealed through their shadow or reflection, showing their true fox nature, or by their inability to completely hide their tail. They can manipulate foxfire, called kitsunebi, appearing as floating blue-white flames that lead travelers astray or mark their presence. Kitsune range from malevolent tricksters who deceive and harm humans to benevolent protectors who form loyal relationships, even marrying humans in numerous folk tales recorded throughout Japanese literary history. Kappa. Kappa are malevolent water demons from Japanese folklore found throughout the Japanese islands, referenced in texts from the medieval period onward, and representing one of the most dangerous types of yokai in traditional belief. These amphibious creatures stand roughly 3 to 4 feet tall, with childlike proportions, possessing turtle-like shells on their backs, scaly reptilian skin in shades of green or yellow-green, webbed hands and feet for swimming, and beak-like mouths sometimes described with sharp teeth, The defining feature is a bowl-like depression called a sara on top of the head, filled with water that serves as the source of the kappa's supernatural power and life force. According to tradition, kappa dwell in rivers, ponds, and lakes, where they pose particular danger to children and horses, dragging victims underwater to drown them. Despite their malevolent nature, kappa are bound by strict rules of etiquette and politeness, which provides the key to defeating them. If someone bows to a kappa, the creature will automatically bow back, spilling the water from its head bowl and losing its power until the depression refills. Kappa possess an intense love for cucumbers, leading to the tradition of leaving cucumber offerings at riversides to appease them. And this vegetable remains associated with kappa in modern Japanese culture. These creatures are expert wrestlers despite their small size and emit a strong fishy odor. The kappa legend served as a cautionary tale to keep children away from dangerous water bodies, and seasonal festivals in various regions still include cucumber offerings. Modern Japan has transformed the kappa into a more benign character appearing in mascots and media, though traditional tales emphasize the deadly nature of these beings, lurking beneath seemingly peaceful waters. If you want to see more, click the video on screen now.